Yo, what's good, man? Today I'll be diving the kelp forest of Southern California. I'll be spearfishing for some delicious fish, and I'll try to catch some lobsters if I can. And of course, I'll make some delicious some with the catches. Alright. Please, no sharks, and just let me be safe out there. Thanks. So today there was absolutely no swell and the visibility was so nice. So I was feeling really optimistic today. Right away I see a little Garibaldi, so I say what's up and make my way to the fishing spot. On my way there I see a giant calico. It's really hard to see, but I zoom it up for you. It must have been like 20 or so inches. It was huge. So I say, you know what, I'm gonna dive bomb him and go for the shot. But as soon as I take the dive, I lift my head up and I see the calico's already gone. I should have swam away and then kind of crept up on him instead. I move to a different location and I see this Garibaldi, and I'm noticing a lot of Garibaldis today. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I say what's up, and I do see a large structure down there, so I decide to dive down. I reach the bottom and it's maybe about 6 to 7 meters deep. I see a few small fish and a calico bass that might be legal, but I'm not sure, so I pass up on it. I see a school of senoritas and some Garibaldi, and I'm just mesmerized by the beauty of it all and not even worried about shooting a fish at this point. I'm just enjoying my view and coming right back up. I'm diving the shallow still, maybe 5 to 7 meters, and I see a little striped surf perch greeting me right here. I see a few sea urchins, but I'm just like, I don't feel like working that hard today. And I see a few large Garibaldis just circling me around, which is always fun to see. I scan around and I don't really see anything, but in the distance I do see a huge surf perch. So I try to creep up on him and take a shot. And of course, per tradition, I miss my first shot. And I shake my head in disappointment.
Surf perch, yeah, I missed it.
It's almost like I gotta miss my first shot as warm up, and the reload process is where I remind myself to aim my shot next time. I take a slightly deeper dive and I search around for some lobster and some fish. I don't really see anything, but on my way up I see a sheephead, so I anchor myself here and sneak up and take the shot. I didn't bring a float or a float line today, so I just leave my gun there because my spear is stuck on a rock at this point. And the visibility is good and I'm not worried about losing my gun. After doing a quick breathe up on the surface, I just go back down and retrieve the spear. The first fish of the day, and it was a really nice shot. I pretty much shot its brain from the top, so I didn't even need to brain it. Feeling really stoked at this point, and it was a decent size. We decide to move to a different location, and when I dive to the bottom I see this beautiful kelp forest, and I'm thinking to myself at this point, even though there's no fish, this would be a great location to just lay low and high for the fish to come around. So I kind of scan around and go right back up, but I'm gonna breathe up on the surface and come back right back down. So I do exactly that. I come back down and I'm just kind of laying low and hiding myself, and I start to see some fish come around, and I do see a decent sized sheephead, and I'm slowly creeping up, aiming at it, and I missed a shot. And on my way up I notice that the spear is stuck on the rock, so I give it a little jerky jerk, which is a move I mastered in high school, and dislodge it. After that disappointing shot, I decide to dive at the same spot again. I lay low and wait for the opportunity. But I lift my head up and in the distance I see a harbor seal. So I say hi, what's up, and don't hurt me please, and I come right back up to tell my buddy about what I saw.
Did you see it? Harbor seal. It was huge. Big one? Scared the shit out of me.
That was my first seal sighting, and it was actually really cool to see, but a little bit scary at first. So I take another dive, and I'm looking for lobsters now, but I only see sea urchins, and I really don't feel like working for them today. So I lift my head up, and then I see a school of sheephead. However, in the distance, I see a larger sheephead, so I decide to crawl up to that kelp in front of me, hide myself, and line up my shot. And when I have the opportunity, I make the shot. Now that I have some decent dinner, I shift my focus to the lobster and potentially some scallop. I know scallop is a lot of work, but it's such a delicious food that I'm willing to work hard for it. And with this sheephead, I see that a lot of the senoritas are following me, so I decide to feed them the guts and kind of watch them go crazy with it. I notice it's usually the senoritas or the Garibaldi that usually have zero fear of humans or other predators. And I don't know if it's because they are dumb or they know something that I don't. Either way, it's cool to see. I finally see my first scallop, and you can see it right there closing its mouth, so I decide to work and try to pry this out with my knife. It's not ideal, but I end up cutting it in half and retrieving it in 2 pieces. What I also notice is that it's a lot smaller than I thought, so I know next time I should go for a bigger scallop. I take another dive at similar depths at a very rocky area, and I finally see my first pair of antennas, and you can see it under this rock, and I see the lobster, and I sneak up on it and try to swipe at it from both sides, and I miss. I end up just punching the rock instead. I still haven't caught my first lobster, so I'm a little disappointed. I go back down to see if I can locate that lobster again, but all I see is this Garibaldi mean mugging me, so I give him a little double take. I'm like, what you looking at, man? And I go right back up. I still haven't caught my first lobster, so it's a little disappointing, but maybe next time. My buddy decides to take a shot at the sheephead, and today we were just missing a lot of our shots. I don't know what was going on, but just missing a lot of shots today.
Damn, so close.
Because the visibility is really nice and there's no currents, I use my gun as a marker. So right there is a big scallop. So I mark it with my gun, swim up, and I take a breathe up and dive back down. After breathing up, I dive right back down to where the gun is and locate the scallop and try to pry this out with a knife. After 10 to 15 seconds, I'm able to pry the scallop off the rock. Stoked for my first scallop. My buddy also gets his first fish. It was a pretty huge sheephead.
Yeah! Nice.
Take another quick shallow dive, and I'm still scanning for scallops and lobster, but I'm really not seeing anything. And the Garibaldi and sheephead are just kind of staring at me. They're really cool to see, but I feel like Garibaldis are beautiful but also ugly at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense. Kind of reminds me of myself. After like an hour or so, I finally find this giant scallop. So I mark it with my spear gun, and I go right back up to breathe up. And this time, this one looks like the size of my palm, or bigger. I pick up a trash floating around while I'm breathing up, and I dive right back to where my spear gun is to try to get that giant scallop. And I use my knife to try to pry it out, and I didn't want to kill it this time, so I'm trying to pry it off the rock, and it's just lodged in there, and I wasn't able to get it out. I kind of give up, and it was time for us to go, so I just let him live today. Overall, it was a beautiful day. Visibility was amazing. Look at these anchovies. Beautiful, beautiful. And I got a couple of sheephead, one of which I decided to give as a gift to my friend. And I got a couple of scallops, so it's a pretty good day. Still not fully thawed, so. Oh, it's like frozen. Still? Damn. Not the greatest job, but it's okay. It's going into soup anyway, so. Alright, so we got now the head, the carcass, all the skin, and the meat with the pin bones on it. And look at this giant onion, holy crap. I'm just gonna basically roast them in the oven for a little bit to get the flavor out, and then we'll make broth with it. Alright, have fun in there. Alright. For the stock, for the broth, I'm just gonna use cinnamon, star anise. I usually use up to about 24 points. So I counted 24 points, give or take. Some rock salt, rock sugar, exactly 9 cloves. Let's get this out. Okay. I'm supposed to take the skin off, but I'm way too lazy. See what happens if I put the skin in there. Ooh, look at that. All the skin, all the collagen goes in there. On top of that, I have some bones left over from a chicken I cleaned up. I was gonna use it for chumming, but I think I'll just put it in the stock. There's some green onion. Now we wait. Alright, it's been like an hour. Okay, so now I need to have fish sauce, which I don't have, but I got one of these. It's just as good. And just kind of eyeball it. I just usually go somewhere over the rainbow, and that's about the correct amount. And then some white pepper. Now we simmer for an hour or more. Ooh. Look at that goodness. There we go, fish pho. Alright, this looks really good. Some lime. Let the broth poach the fish for a little bit. In the meantime, I'll try the noodles. Oh wow. It's just as good as a beef pho. Wow. Just lightly poached. Oh my god. This is really good. A little bit of sriracha.
Also, I didn't have Thai basil. The H Mart I went to didn't have any. Ugh, crazy. But it's still really good. Wow. The fish. Oh wow, that's really good. Holy shit, that's really good. The sheephead, the head has a lot of collagen. When you make broth with it, it's just bringing out all that goodness that you want in a soup. And you're not getting the fishiness because balanced out with the spices that you use. So there's no fishiness. It's so delicious. Some people don't like the more meaty broths. So I think using fish broth is a good alternative. This is really good. This, like, look at it. This regular pho. It's really good. It's just pho broth. Woo! Killed it. Until next time. That was really good. Holy crap.